Okay, so for this problem, we all know that we are going to do the opposite. So we're going to draw our line, our wall, and put DC ma'am. We already know we don't need the C and the M or the D. So the first thing we're going to do is add or subtract. So I'm going to do the opposite of -3, which is +3. So we're going to do that first. And since we know these are opposites, that becomes 0. And over here on the right-hand side, 2 positives will give you a +5. So we end up rewriting and having y over 4 equals 5. Well, the last one is multiplying or dividing. I know this means division, so I'm going to do the opposite of division, which is multiplication. So I'm going to multiply times 4. And again, I can cross these out because 4 goes into 4 one time. So it's the same as 1y. So my final answer is y equals 5 times 4, which is 20. So the part that I wanted to get to is this writing piece right here. And for the writing piece, what I wanted to highlight is using the vocabulary. So step one, first thing I did was first I drew a wall. You notice we give you the vocabulary to start out with. And then the second, I have to use constant and opposite. So second, I took the opposite of the constant, -3. And I'm going to go ahead and circle these words because it says you have to highlight or circle them in your writing. So wall and constant. Okay, so far I've used constant. Wall wasn't on there, but it's kind of like a given vocab word that we're using. We didn't put it on there because it's not actually not an official vocab word. Next, it talks about using the coefficient and the opposite variable. So I took the opposite of the constant of -3 on the left. It equals 0. And on the right, that says RT. It equaled 5. So I'm kind of just shorthanding it because I can't fit everything right now. And then lastly, it says use coefficient, opposite, and variable. So next I'm going to say next. You see how it says next here? I took the opposite of division, which is multiplying by the let's see, coefficient 4. That was attached. Let me just put that, no, I'll finish it, to the variable. I don't have a lot of room, so I'm just going to do that. The variable y. Okay. So then I would really go on and I would talk about how I had to cross things out, how I would have to multiply both sides by 4. I would give more detail, and then at the end I would say the solution is y equals 20. You notice I used coefficient, I used variable, I didn't use equation or expression. So those are two. I probably would start here. I drew a wall to separate the two expressions in the equation. And I would probably talk about what those two expressions are. You have this expression and you have this expression. So y minus 3 and 2. So something like that, something just very simple, writing your steps, and then you want to take all of this stuff and you want to put it down here. I know my writing is not the best, but I just kind of wanted to give you an overview of what your writing should look like.